I'm Kelly with Morris Comic Book Stash.
And I'm Douglas with By the Brick.
And welcome to another episode of What's New This Week.
And first up for news this week, it's Marvel Legends Face Off with the Punisher versus Jigsaw. And I'm so happy, by the way, about the new series coming out of the Punisher. Totally deserves that role. This came out in 2006, by the way, and it goes for about $50.
$50.
And from the same series, we have another Marvel Legends Face Off, Wolverine versus Sabretooth, also from 2006.
And also $50.
And next up, to go along with the Punisher thing, we have the Pop Punisher. Going for about $15, I think. No, $8. $8.
Yep, non-exclusive.
And then next up, with the Marvel theme, we have a Deadpool variant.
That one isn't exclusive.
And was it 15?
That's $15.
$15.
GameStop exclusive.
Next up, given the new game that came out recently, it's not that one, it's Assassin's Creed 2, but Assassin's Creed.
Ezio. $15.
And next up, Star Wars. Totally. We got Imperial Death Trooper for $15. And next up, last but not least on Pops, Darth Vader. Also going for $15. And next up, we got Legos. I got some new minifigures in.
Fun.
Oh, yes. We have Marge Simpson. You can see that pretty well. She's going for $263. There you go.
Thanks, buddy.
We got Marge Simpson in her orange dress. Going for $213 on Bricklink. That's what all our prices are based on. Next, we got Groundskeeper Willie. Yeah, he's going for $240.
Holding a plunger.
Then we got Homer Simpson in his church outfit. He's going for $236 on average. We have Bart Simpson on the skateboard going for $375. He has a little, I don't know if you can see that, but he has a little slingshot in his back pocket there. Next up, we have the Bartman. He has a slingshot in his hand. He is going for $257. Let me see. What do we got next? We have Patty. Yes, Patty. She is $289.
Let's get twisted with the twin sister.
Yeah. Well, she's got the split in her hair. The other one does.
Yeah.
This is Homer Simpson with a donut. Your average Homer Simpson. He's $257 on average. We have Maggie Simpson, accompanied with Santa's Little Helper. She's going for $263 on average.
And some video games that we got into this week for the PlayStation, PS1. Crash Bandicoot, #1.
Always a favorite.
And then there's the Greatest Hits version. Crash Bandicoot 2.
We got a nice variety.
Greatest Hits.
Crash Bandicoot fans.
They're about $25 a piece. Besides the black label for the first Crash Bandicoot, that one goes for about $50. This is Crash Bandicoot Warped. This is black label. This one goes for about $15. And then there's also the Crash Team Racing, which is also the Greatest Hits. That one goes for $20. And we have Final Fantasy VIII, PS1, $20.
Follow up to the fan favorite, Final Fantasy VII.
And this one's Final Fantasy IX. This one's factory sealed.
Factory sealed.
This one goes for about $50. This is also factory sealed. This is Sim Earth. It's for the Turbo Duo or the TurboGrafx 16. This one goes for about $70.
Do you believe it?
And for those Nintendo fans, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, The Manhattan Project.
Still in the box.
Still in the box. There's no book for it, but the game's in great condition. The box is very well conditioned. $50. And last but not least for the video games is Tetris in the box. This one only goes for about $25, but it's also in really good condition and also a really good game.
And next up, we're hopping into, for those turn-based tabletop players, we have Warhammer 4000. This is the Dark Elder copy. It's going for about $20. I'm not even sure when it came out exactly. But next we have Warhammer. I think this is the main book. I'm not sure about Warhammer. It's a little popular. I haven't played it personally, but that one's going for about $25. And then we're into Advanced Dungeons and Dragons 2nd edition, the Greyhawk Adventures, Veil of the Mage. That's going for $10. And last but not least, Dungeons and Dragons Eberron. It was a brief series. Kind of has a cult following almost. There's not a lot of D&D players that like to play it, but it's going for $11. And speaking of dungeons, we happen to be in Roy Thomas's basement, his man cave, and up next we're going to go over some of his new art that he just made.
Yep. So stay tuned.
All right, we're over here with Roy Thomas. We were just over in the Batman bar. Now we're over here in the Superman corner. We're going to go ahead and talk with him about what got him started into this.
Been in this house 18 years. I've always been a Superman fan. Started collecting right after I got out of the service with a little cookie jar, and I've been doing that ever since. Nothing really expensive, but you can see as the years add up, so does the collection. And the place changes constantly because I'm always adding, taking away.
A Superman
Lots of
pinata?
figures.
That is a Superman pinata. Yes,
Wow.
it certainly is. I have just about everything Superman you can possibly imagine.
When did you start collecting?
Back in 1975. Thanks for the question. So I've been collecting quite a while, 50 plus years.
What inspired you into doing the art?
I got inspired to do art basically because we didn't have much money growing up. And so at Christmas time, my dad bought everybody an art book. I drew a bunch of pictures, and I won a contest in kindergarten. I've been doing it ever since. Certainly wasn't to pick up chicks or anything, that's for sure.
That's pretty cool.
So now I do it about 70 hours a week, especially since I got involved with the store about 4 years ago with Travis. And
All right, Moore's Comic Book Stash.
we're still riding the horse, thanks very much. Still
Right.
at a full gallop, adding stuff every week. A lot of different artwork, 2D, 3D artwork, statuettes, the whole.
Stand up.
Travis lets me bring really anything I want. He's he's happy with anything I produce. So that's that gives me a lot of freedom to do whatever I want to do.
So do you have some of those new art pieces in?
But why yes, thank you for asking. I do. I this week I worked on I'm doing a series of superhero uniforms on canvas. Excuse me if I hide your face, Kelly. I did a Robin that hangs in the store, and this is going into the store. It's acrylic, waterproofed, and like all the artwork, it's guaranteed. This is a one that I'm still in the process of working on. It's a from the Green Goblin from Spider-Man. It's all 3D, done in acrylic. And still talking about Spider-Man, I'm working on a Venom, of course, in 3D. And a lot of other projects. I've always got 2 or 3 projects on the board at any one time. So, and we always have a discussion: more art or more collectibles. So we try to get a balance down here.
Yeah.
Did you actually paint this table?
Everything down here is made by myself. The table, all the furniture, all of the wood pieces. Everything I did myself. With the help from a friend of mine from San Diego that flew in to help me. He was here about 3 weeks and helped me build my shelves and things like that. We tried to make the shelves look like the Fortress of Solitude in the movie, like getting these weird angles and stuff.
Yeah, there's a couple Superman symbols on the floor. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the floor is loaded with emblems. We had originally we had the basement floor, and we had painted over it, and I painted superhero emblems everywhere. But we had it eventually carpeted, and they were kind enough to keep the asses for me.
That's a pretty intricate image you got over here. It's a 3D
Cyborg
art.
Superman. I drew that about 3 years before the Terminator when they killed Superman off. Jurgens and Dan Jurgens and Brent Breeding took over the drawing in DC Comics, and they carried. I think they're the ones that are still doing most of the drawing and storytelling today from the Cyborg. But originally, yeah, it was my design. Pretty proud of it.
That's pretty
So-
cool. That's interesting.
Well, we should go ahead and head into where all the magic happens and check out his art studio.
Sure, come on in, you guys. See where I work.
And here we are in Roy's art studio.
Why don't we go take a look at what he's doing?
I'm working on a Frank Miller version of The Dark Knight for Kelly, and I'm working on a black and white pencil 1936 movie of Mighty Joe Young, and a 3D characterization of Superman. But also around here, I mean, you can just look at the walls. I mean, I've got artwork strung everywhere that eventually I've got to get out and get to the shop. It usually takes me anywhere between 4 to 12 hours to do a complete picture, depending if I screw up. And basically, this is my daily routine, just making art and hoping to sell some of it someday.
Well, Roy, we really appreciate you letting us come by and check out the man cave and letting us do an interview with
Nice
you.
having you guys over. Is it easier to say goodbye or release the hounds? I know. Release the hounds. See you guys.
Thanks, Roy.
And that's it for the show this week.
Thanks for tuning in, guys, and make sure you check us out next week.
We will be here.